Welcome to Of Men, For Men. Here we'll discuss issues pertaining to the modern day man. Subjects like health, wealth, lifestyle, gear, and relationships. So join me as we dive into the world of men, for men. Hello, and welcome to the Of Men, For Men podcast. I am your host, James Rodney Lee Max. Yeah, all right. Come on in. Kick back. Relax. Have yourself a go. All right. Well, it's early. I'm going to kick this thing out. I hope the start of your weekend is a good one. I hope you've made some plans with your friends, your family, your loved ones. Or maybe you've taken some time out for yourself. Do something for yourself. Nothing wrong with it. Take care of yourself. Everybody needs some time alone sometimes. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Everybody needs a time out, right? Oh man, what a week. Man, it's crazy. Crazy out there, man. These people acting fool. Alright, got an interesting conversation coming. You guys know I generally don't get too political on here, because I will touch on some subjects now because we're talking about men. And, so you need to align yourself correctly as a man. And sometimes that's going to lean you one way or the other. But I don't want this to necessarily be a political podcast. There's a ton of that shit already out there, And, but I'm going to talk about some stuff. I'm going to talk about some stuff about being a man. Now, unless you've been hiding up underneath a rock somewhere, you know the verdict of that trial that just happened up there in Kenosha, Wisconsin. That young man, Kyle Rittenhouse. Now, they found him not guilty on all charges. They must have read all 5 or 6. I always thought that was bullshit. They just trumping up a bunch of damn charges so they can get you on something. It's like, why don't you find out, what the biggest charge is and you charge him with that, Instead of filing 15 different charges. Well, if I don't get him on this, I'll get him on that. I never thought that was right. I still don't think that's right. Because a lot of those charges fall under the other charge, If you did this, well, then of course you did that. But anyway, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a judge. I just don't think it's right that they can just, throw a half a dozen or a dozen charges out there and then just kind of see what sticks. I don't necessarily agree with that. Find a charge or, 2 charges and charge them with that. And have yourself some kind of trial then, Now this thing has been played out in the media relentlessly. And somehow or other, the legacy media has interjected race into this whole damn thing. And I don't understand that at all. Okay, yeah, it was a BLM riot. And yes, it was a riot. It was not a protest. They down there destroying shit and burning shit. That's not a protest, okay? First of all, get that right. If you got two brain cells in your head and you got, a synaptic process going on there, in other words, one's firing back and forth to the other, and you can think, damn well that wasn't no protest. That's a freaking riot. Yeah, I'm being opinionated. Because this shit's important, people. Men, it's important. Now, should them people have been down there doing all that mess? No. Peaceful protest, I have absolutely no problem with that whatsoever. None. Go get your permits. Whatever the law says you can and cannot do, then you find yourself, in those boundaries and protest all the hell you want. That's what this country is all about, protesting. You got freedom of speech. Use it. The problem is we have, a certain group of people that want to control what the others say. What you can and cannot say. That's where we have a problem in today. And the media is a big part of that. They're just pushing in a damn an agenda. They're pushing propaganda. And it's all coming from one direction. And it's the wrong direction. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I am a conservative. I believe in conservative morals and values. Common sense. Being held responsible. Doing what you're supposed to do. As a man. As a citizen. As, an autonomous human being. Live and letting others live and not trying to push my stuff on anybody else. Everybody has a right to their opinion. Everybody has a right to live their life the way they want to, as long as they're not breaking any laws and hurting anybody. I don't care what people do in their bedroom. Don't care. It's not my business. That type of stuff. But don't push it all up on me and tell me, I got to think it's right or that I have to agree with it. I don't. And I have the right to say so. And that's where people are going wrong. If I don't like it, I have the right to say that. The freedom of speech protects not only the language that you agree with, it protects the language that you don't agree with. Stuff that you may find even kind of ugly. Hate speech, no such thing. If you don't like it, you don't have to listen to it. Nobody should be hating on anybody. But if somebody is, don't listen to it. If they don't find a crowd, they won't have anybody to talk to. And if you're using the mainstream media, the legacy media, for your information, you are wrong. Wrong. Need to seek out other sources. There's two sides to all of it, and the truth is generally somewhere in between. But we have dum-dums out there that they'll watch MSNBC and CNN, and they'll just soak it up and take whatever they say as the gospel. And that's unfortunate. And there's a lot of people like that, unfortunately. And they vote. That's the scary part. They're sheeple. They'll do whatever them people tell them to do. They'll believe whatever them people tell them on the TV. They call it programming for a reason. TV programming. Oh, the next program is about to start. Yeah, it's a program. They program in your brain. They're telling you what they want you to think. Think for yourselves, gentlemen. Think outside the box. Again, that's what this podcast is all about. It's about you. It ain't about me. I just throw stuff out there to entertain you, to help you to understand some things, give you my experience. And the decision is always yours. There's a lot of man channels out there that are always, a lot of them seem like they kind of BS to me in the manosphere. That's a whole nother episode, but it seems like they're always putting on and telling you this, that, and the other. I don't necessarily, some of them are good, And I listen to them. Some of them I think are full of shit. As you can see, there's no pretense here. I'm not pretending to be something I'm not. I'm not trying to tell you that I'm this ultimately successful person. That I run through, women like socks. That's not what any man should be doing. Now, the problem is this trial that just had should have never happened. The man should have never been brought up on charges. If you watch the video, you didn't even have to watch the entire thing. All you had to do is watch a piece of it, and you could come to a reasonable conclusion. The man was defending himself. He was running away from the people, trying to get away from them, running towards the police, trying to get away from them, because they was chasing him down. He trips and falls, and then that's when they attack him when he's on the ground. You got Mr. Jump Kick guy, the only black guy involved who was not shot. And you got 3 other white dudes. 2 of them got shot and killed. Good for them. Cleaned up society. All 3 of the white guys had lengthy criminal backgrounds. They shouldn't have been there. One of them had a gun, shouldn't have had a gun. That was the second guy that got his arm damn near blowed off. Good for him. The first guy was shooting at him when he was shot and killed, and then the third guy was about to. He was the one that had the pistol. I mean, the second guy that got killed was the one that was beating him over the head with the damn skateboard, trying to bash his damn skull in. We have rights in this country. You have the right to defend yourself. Now, should those people been down there rioting and looting and all that bullshit? Hell no. Could they have been peaceful protesting? Yeah, you do that during the day, during the daytime. You don't need to be down there at night. You know nothing good gonna happen at nighttime, especially late at night. Should Kyle Rittenhouse have been down there? Probably not. Now, I'll defend my family and my property to the death. But do I need to go somewhere else and go down there and interject myself into somebody else's problems? No. That's where you start screwing up. Interjecting yourself into somebody else's business, into somebody else's problems. I understand he may have had good intentions. He was going down there, they got pictures of him, video, cleaning up graffiti, had his first aid kit with him to render aid to anybody, because, them freaking BLMers and Antifas, they like to beat up on people. As you can see, he had to defend himself. They like that. They like that violence. And then, of course, the politicians encourage that shit. The media encourages it. They got video, and I'm sure you've seen it. I can't be the only one. The correspondent, the so-called journalist, on TV, buildings burning down in the background. Oh, it's mostly peaceful protest. Buildings burning down in the background. Mostly peaceful. Oh, now you telling me that I don't understand what my eyes are seeing. No, that's not what you're seeing. These are not the droids you're looking for, right? Try to do some of that Jedi mind shit on you. That's what the media is telling. They're telling you that what you see and what you hear is incorrect. No, that's not what you're seeing. That's not what you're hearing. Listen to what I say. Be smart, people. Do your own research. Do your own research. Know the truth. Or at least attempt to, to find it. It's screwy. Now that boy shouldn't have been down there. I say boy, he was 17 when he's 18 now. And he's lucky. I don't believe he should have been down there. That's, like I said, when you interject yourself in other people's problems, shit happens. It's like you see a man and a woman arguing. Now, if they arguing, just stay the hell out of it. Don't try to be Mr. Macho or, Mr. White Knight and interject yourself in the middle of it, because generally you're probably going to have an issue. Now, if he's putting his hands on her, then that's a different thing. You see these videos all the time on TV where some woman is being accosted, being attacked, assaulted, and everybody's got their damn cell phone out and nobody's doing nothing. That's a different story. If somebody's being assaulted, somebody's being attacked, somebody's being injured, and you feel the need, then yeah, go ahead. That's on you. That's your business. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm not telling you not to do it. That's a decision you make. But if people just sitting there arguing, yelling at one another, ain't nothing happened yet. Best thing to do is don't interject yourself. And Kyle Rittenhouse kind of did that. He interjected himself into that situation. He put himself in that situation. He's very lucky to get off on all charges. I'm surprised they didn't hang him up with something, honestly. The way the news was, the way the crowd was, they were being threatened, they were being followed by the media. I'm sure they're going to be trying to find out who was on that jury so they can get them on TV, for 10 to 15 minutes and and just rip them down and rip them up. Why did you find him innocent? Why? Because they did. That's why. They did. They listened to the evidence. Nobody else was in that courtroom. Yeah, it was a courtroom on TV. Yeah, you could see it. I didn't watch it. I just hit the highlights. And you don't know what was discussed in that jury room. They evaluated the evidence. They discussed it. They came up with a decision. Kyle Rittenhouse was judged by 12 instead of being carried by 6. He could have died that night. He put himself in harm's way. Very lucky that he survived. And extremely lucky that he wasn't charged with something. I'm really surprised. I thought they would find him guilty of something. With all them charges, I thought that they might feel compelled, with all the turmoil, with all the controversy, to find him guilty of something. Even though I don't believe he was. But that's my personal opinion. Everybody's got one. Know that you do have the right to defend yourself. Things are going to get tough. They're going to get hard. And I've told you before, I don't know how you feel about firearms, but if you're okay with them, I would possess one. I would train with one. And if you have a family, again, I know it's a heightened responsibility. I believe every man should have some kind of firearm, some kind, something. Again, I believe, my personal opinion, you need to be able to protect your family if somebody breaks in the middle of the night. You don't know. You have no idea. And somebody comes in like that, you don't know what they're capable of. You don't know what their intentions are. Now, like I said, the Rittenhouse was down there trying to protect other people's property and other people's lives and stuff like that. Is that commendable? Maybe, yeah. I guess, morally. But he put himself in a situation that almost cost him his life. Literally and figuratively. He could have gone to jail for, 20, 30 years or more. I don't know. I don't know what the state, laws differ from state to state as to, what life is or, what the amount of time you get, because he killed 2 people. But you need to be able to protect yourself. And if you have a family, you ought to be able to protect them as well. It's called the Second Amendment. We have the right to bear arms. Use that right. Use it. I believe you should. Again, my opinion. But now, I've been around firearms my entire life. I'm, born and raised here in the South. I had my own rifle when I was young, 8, 9 years old. I think I got it for my birthday. But I've been, firing rifles since I was about 7. That's just the way we are down here. We're, brought up and raised up around that kind of culture. And that's not a bad thing. And then once I got in the service, it all served me well. I was not intimidated by firearms. I knew how to use them, had respect for them. And firearm safety is important. But the biggest deal with that whole scenario is that it never should have happened. Them people shouldn't have been down there burning and looting. I don't think he should have been down there interjecting himself into that situation. And he should, and of course, after the incident, after all that happened, he shouldn't have been brought up on charges. None of that should have happened, in another universe, right? But of course it did, and it played out, the way it should have. Although, I thought the outcome would be a little bit different. And he's lucky. And, now he's probably going to sue all these people that got on TV and called him a white supremacist. Man doesn't have any ties. There's no proof. Has no ties to white supremacy, as far as we know. Even the president insinuated that and used that during his campaign to run for the White House. That's deplorable. You want to talk about deplorable? That's deplorable. That man don't know nothing about Kyle Rittenhouse. And he used that. That's what these people do. They want to divide and conquer us all. In the left and right, black and white, brown and purple, men, women, and whatever else they can think of. As far as gender goes, I don't know how many there are now, but it seems like there's a whole bunch of them. And if you're confused about any of that, you really need to do some soul searching. I guess I've ranted on enough. It's been, pretty passionate thing. But, I thought that I should speak on it and give my 2 cents, get it out in the air, let you know how I feel about it. Again, I'm not left or right, or I don't fall into any of that. I don't think either party has our best interests at heart, to be honest. They don't have our best interests at heart. They only come to you when they want a vote. That's why we as citizens need to get involved more and more and more. And take things back from these elites, from these people who want to run your life from the cradle to the grave. All right, gentlemen. I know it might have been a kind of a heavy segment, but I thought it was worth talking about. I appreciate all your time and your patience. I appreciate you tuning in and listening. You guys are actually the producers of this show. Do I put it together? Yeah, but you guys produce it, because if it wasn't for you, it wouldn't be here. check out the social media sites. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Parler, Gab, Locals. There's also some little audiograms on YouTube if you want to check that out. Oh, and the website, podpage.com/ofmen4men. podpage.com/ofmen4men. Check it out. I think it's kind of cool. If I do say so myself. It's one of them things that's ready-made, and it's a template, and then you set it up, however you want, I mean, it's got different deals, but you can make it how you want it. I thought it come up pretty good. All right, my friends. I have been James Rodney Lemax, and you have been great. Have a good weekend. Yeah. Hey. This will be a weekly podcast. You can find it on the Anchor app and anywhere podcasts are available. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. I look forward to seeing you there.